Three, go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna show you the use of insulation meter. We are using a Fluke 1587 insulation multimeter, and we're gonna test the one good motor and one of the bad motor. So I'm gonna show you how we can use this insulation multimeter to check good motor and the bad motor insulation. So first of all, we need to turn on this meter and put it on insulation. So as you can see right now, we are on the insulation, which is around, and they show you the range 50 volt to 1000 volt, right? So first of all, you need to check what's the voltage of your motor, right? So we have here motor, as you can see on the nameplate. As we can see here on the nameplate, we have here 575 volt, right? So we can range our voltage according to that. And how you can do it? From here, minimum, maximum. Oh, sorry, my bad, from the range, right? As you can see, it's changing the number 1000 volt, 50 volt, 100 volt, 250 volt, 50 volt, and the 1000 volt. So our motor is 575 volt, so our range should be the 500 volt. If our motor is running on 220 voltage or something, then we should do it over here to 20. But right now our motor is rated on 575 volt, so that's why we are using 500 volt. Okay, so with the meter you can get all this kind of the wire, right? But you should use this one. As you can see, this pin, right? That's gonna be go over here on an insulation port, right? As you can see here, they write it down insulation, so you can just put it in one pin over there. And you can use any of these wire, either you can use the red or the black, but as you can see, this one is already a black color, so we can use the red one. So we could okay, so now we're gonna check the so now we're gonna check the winding of the motor. Is it good or bad? So we have here two motors. One of the motor is a good one, and one of the motor is a bad one. So this one is the good motor, and this one is the bad motor that we took it out today from one of the conveyor line. Okay, so I'm gonna show you first in a good motor. Okay, so how you gonna check the insulation on a good motor? Okay, so first of all, so there is a two way to check your winding is good or not for the motor. Okay, so first of all, you can check in between the phases. So usually like three phase, this is a three-phase motor, as you can see on the nameplate, right? L1, L2, L3, right, for 600 voltage. So you can choose any of these phase. So you can see this terminal, so this one go over here, and one of these gonna go over here on any of these two phase. Okay, and then you will press this insulation test button, and as you can see, it's a 0.00 ohm, which means our winding between one of these two phase is good. So there is no any kind of resistance in between that, because the winding is interconnected inside, so that's why it's gonna show us the 0.0 ohm. If our winding is sorted or it burned or it did happen anything, right? It shows us reading like in ohm, which means it's sorted with our motor body or with the ground. Okay, now we can check in another phase, second phase. Press again. It's good. Now we can check our third phase. Press the insulation test, and you can see it's the 0.0, so our winding is good. And the second method to check our winding is good or not, with each phase we should test with the grounding. Okay, so as you can see over here, in most of the motor do have grounding with the wire, main wire, right? So over here you can put your grounding screw, or with the motor body itself is a grounding, right? So what we're gonna do, we can check each phase with the grounding. As we know that even motor itself is a ground, so you can put it anywhere on the motor body. And then what you're gonna do, press this button again, and use, as you can see, is a 550 mega ohm. Why this time we are getting the 550 mega ohm? Because it means there is a too much resistance, or there is a too much our winding is not touching our body. That's why it shows that there is a there is a resistance in between the motor winding and the motor body. It means our winding is not touching our body, and that's why it's so here like 550 mega ohm resistance. If our motor is a short, or our winding is open or break or anything happen like that, then we can see here like very less resistance, like around 0.1 or 0.2. It means that our winding is touching the motor body, but it didn't happen here right now. So now we're gonna check the second phase. It's good. And now we can check the third phase, and it's good too. So it means our motor insulation, or motor winding insulation is good. Okay, now I'm gonna show it to you on the bad motor. Okay, so this is the motor that we took it out today from our one of the line, because it winding burn out. So one of the thing that how you can check that winding or the motor burn, first of all, it have a really like bad smell, like burning smell out from the motor. And the other way is like you can check the winding, as we checked over there with this meter, right? So first of all, we're gonna check, mostly there should be the number on the wire by phase. Like as you can see, this one is a T2, this one is a T3, and this one is a T, I think is a T1. Yeah, it is a T1, but I think it's gone. Yeah, you can see here is a T1. So it means the L1, L2, and L3. Okay, so now we're gonna put our, so now we're gonna check in between the phases. So over here, this is our T1. So one of these gonna go into the T1, and one of these gonna go into the T2. So now we're gonna check the resistance in between the two phase or the white. Okay, so now you press insulation test again. So as you can see, it's a 0.0, which means this winding or winding in between these two phase is good. Okay, now you can gonna check in between T1 and T3. Let's see what's gonna happen. Ooh, you see the reading is showing you like 550 mega ohm, which means this winding and this winding is showing you resistance, and it means it's not good, right? There is a okay, now we're gonna check with the T2 and T3. Okay, Yeah, so it means our motor is bad. One of the winding is burned out, so that's why it shows you the 0, because it touched with the motor body. Other way, like now you can check each phase with the grounding. Now we're gonna check each phase with the grounding. So first of all, we're gonna put T1, or we can put this one over here with the grounding, the motor. This one should be okay. You're gonna press this one. You see that? Usually that number should be the 525 mega ohm or something, but right now we're gonna show you the 16.16, which is very low. It means you have a very less resistance in between the winding and the grounding. It means it's sorted with the ground or with the motor body. Okay, as you can see over here, the reading 16, which is very less. Usually it should be 250 mega ohm or the 550 mega ohm, as I show you in the good motor, right? Now we can check the second phase, which is our T2. Okay. See? Very less. Yeah, so only one of these phase is not touching with the body. That's why it's gonna show you the 550, but the rest of these two phase, the number is the T1 and the T2, right? So these two phase is touching with the body, and that's why it burned out, right? So yeah, so this is the way you can check like your motor winding insulation, which is good or bad, right? With the help of the insulation. I'm using the Fluke 1587, which is like really good meter, right? Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching me. Please like, subscribe and share this video.